Diplomatic relations between India and Canada appeared to have collapsed on Monday as both countries expelled 6 each other top diplomats following India's refusal to remove the diplomatic immunity on some of its diplomats. Canadian government suspected to have been involved in criminal acts and murder of Sikh separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was agitating for the declaration of Khalistan Republic from India, whom Indian security had accused of being a member of Khalistan Tiger Force, KTF, a secessionist armed group that was declared a terrorist organization by Indian government in February 2023. Hardeep Singh Nijjar was killed with multiple gunshots in Canada on June 18, 2023. Canadian government accused 6 Indian diplomats of aiding the criminal act and killing of the separatist leader on its soil. On Monday, Canada expelled the 6 diplomats following India to remove immunity clause to pave way for Canadian security operatives to investigate them. India, in a swift reaction on Monday, retaliated and expelled 6 top Canadian diplomats and said it has recalled its diplomats from Canada on the ground that they were no longer safe in the North America country. Khalistan is the name of the proposed state envisioned by some Sikhs, incorporating the Indian state of Punjab as well as other Punjabi-speaking areas of northern India to establish a Sikh nation. The ethno-religious liberation movement gained attention in the 1970s and early 1980s in India. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in a press conference said, "The Indian government made a fundamental error in thinking that they could engage in supporting criminal activities against Canadians here on Canadian soil." The Economic Times reported that after New Delhi expelled 6 Canadian diplomats from India, foreign policy expert and senior fellow at the Observer Research Foundation, Sushant Sarin, called for an investigation into Canada's interference in India's internal affairs. He emphasized the need to probe Canadian NGOs and embassies that support Khalistan elements. "The calling back of our officials, about whom Canadians have said that investigations can be done against them. If you say this about any official that they will be investigated, then it becomes completely dishonest for them to stay in the country. The official can't function there," Sarin said. Sarin asserted that India has given a strong reaction, but along with it, there should also be some action. "The reaction is quite strong, but along with the reaction, there should be some action also. Canada's interference in India, be it their NGOs, their embassies, should also be investigated so that they can be exposed as to how they encourage Khalistanists." He added, "India can keep open embassies but can close their consulates if relations deteriorate further." Sarin also spoke about the deteriorating relations between the two nations and asserted that even if Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is not there in power, the relations will not get better soon. Reuters reported and stated that the diplomatic role represents a major deterioration of relations between the two Commonwealth countries. Ties have been frayed since Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said last year he had evidence linking Indian agents to the assassination of Sikh leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar on Canadian territory. The government now has clear and compelling evidence that agents of the government of India have engaged in and continue to engage in activities that pose a significant threat to public safety, Trudeau said at a news conference. These activities involved clandestine information gathering techniques, coercive behavior, targeting South Asian Canadians, and involvement in over a dozen threatening and violent acts, including murder, he said. "This is unacceptable," he said, adding that India had committed a fundamental error by engaging in criminal activities in Canada. India has long denied Trudeau's accusations. On Monday, it dismissed Canada's move on the inquiry and accused Trudeau of pursuing a political agenda. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police said in an earlier news conference the government of India had undertaken a broad campaign against Indian dissidents, including homicides and extortion. It had also used organized crime to target the South Asian community in Canada and interfered in democratic processes, police said. Bridget Govin, RCMP's Assistant Commissioner, said, "What we have seen is the use of organized crime elements, and named the Bishnoi Group. She said the group, we believe, is connected to the agents of the government of India. Canada's foreign ministry said, the decision to expel these individuals was made with great consideration and only after the RCMP gathered ample, clear and concrete evidence which identified 6 individuals as persons of interest in the Nijjar case. India said it was withdrawing its diplomats from Canada because it was not confident that their safety could be guaranteed. We have no faith in the current Canadian government's commitment to ensure their security. Therefore, the government of India has decided to withdraw the High Commissioner and other targeted diplomats and officials, India's foreign ministry said in a statement. India also said it had asked 6 Canadian diplomats to leave by Saturday. The ministry also said it had summoned Acting High Commissioner in India Stuart Wheeler, currently Canada's top diplomat in the South Asian country. Canada's foreign minister, Melanie Joly, said the government had requested India to remove the diplomatic immunity of 6 diplomats so that the Canadian investigative agencies could question them regarding the allegations of criminal activity. But since India did not cooperate, it had to expel the diplomats. We're not seeking diplomatic confrontation with India, she said, but we will not sit quietly as agents of any country are linked to efforts to threaten, harass or even kill Canadians. Canada withdrew more than 40 diplomats from India in October 2023 after New Delhi asked Ottawa to reduce its diplomatic presence, according to Reuters.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.